Hey guys, drdecks here. Today I want to talk about a tool that I had no idea you guys were so interested in. It is called a Stanley board bender, and here it is. And this simple tool is so efficient at what we're doing right now, we decided to make a separate video about it just to let you know how it works and why we use it so much. I also have another tool I'd like to show you that if you have some issues around thicker joists or double joists, we'll get into that as well. But today it's all about the Stanley board bender. All right guys, so if you like what you see or you learned something today, I know there's gonna be some of you that haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon if you wanna be notified every time we're putting out fresh content. All right, let me show you how this thing works. All right, so what we've done is we've kind of set up this deck board. We're running a special product. This is AZEK decking with a waterproof gasket called dry, and you have to compress the dry very well to keep the deck waterproof. If you don't give it the proper compression, the deck could potentially leak, then you have an issue. So we are trying to avoid that. So I have my deck tool, I have my board bending tool here. And basically there's a part that goes over the top of the joist, and this is a little wider than your joist is. Okay, so it's designed only for 2x material. So I put it over the top of my joist, and as I start to cinch down on this part here, you gotta be careful that you don't ride this too high. It could damage your deck board. You gotta keep it low. There. Okay, now I'm ready to compress. This part here goes at an angle and it cinches against the joist. Now, if you're gonna be looking up and it bugs you, it does dent both sides of every joist for every place that you compress with this tool. So I usually hold my hand here, get a good fit, and then I push down and it compresses the gasket. Now Nas is gonna come in and double screw that. What I like about this tool is I can vary the amount of pressure that I put on it. Because if you over compress the gasket, you can actually get waves in the decking or a reverse curve, or you can get the ends to belly in or something like that. So I can adjust how much tension I give this just to make sure that my lines are straight on the deck. And I'll check them every time I lay a board. I'll take a look and go, oh, I'm a little fat here. I need to cinch harder on the next board there, or I'm a little thin, or I'm a little concave here, I need to ease up just a little bit. You don't want to ease up too much because it might leak, but you kind of get a feel for it as you go. All right, so over here, we cannot get this tool or any other tool up against the house. I want to get good compression right here and make sure that this is nice and tight. So I'm going to take a chisel and force it into the wood, and then I'm going to pull back on it, and I'm going to take my imaginary drill. Thank you. And while I'm pushing in on this, I'm going to drive these screws. Now we're using Fasten Master Pro, or excuse me, so we're using a Fasten Master Cortex product, which is basically stainless steel screws and color matching plugs that go into the decking after we set them to depth with this special bit. It's a depth setter, and we're rocking these Metabo HPT triple hammer impacts, which we really like. They do a really great job of setting the screws. Now that this corner is fixed, we can come back around and start compressing the rest of the board. Now Z will come over, and the cool thing is, another thing I like about this tool, it's universal, so you can do right or left depending on how you're running the board. So this time I'm going to compress this way, and you can see right here, like, watch how much compression I can put on this. Now I hold on to where I want the tightness. Okay, that joist is done. We're just going to keep running this out, but here's another issue. I had to put some elevation tape on a couple of joists that were too low. This is a cool tape. It has a asphalt-based sticky backside to it, and then the top layer is an aluminum. It's designed for tile roofs. We cut it down into strips and we use it to elevate low joists on the deck. I had a serious problem right here with 2 of them. But now the problem I'm having is this doesn't really fit so well over here. And when I go to turn it, it kind of makes it all mushed up and messy. But let's see if we can get this over here. I want to show you another tool I have. Okay, so this joist has less tape on it than this one. This is the one I've been having issues with this particular tool. So now I'm gonna get this ready to go, and it doesn't want to grab as good because of all this tape. So you kind of have to get the feel for it. Okay. Now I know that's good. I can tell by the tension. Okay, but see, it did mash up my, see right here, how it kind of mashed up the top? I've just taken a mallet and hammer it back down so I don't have any high spots on it. Okay, so now we've got this joist here. I'm pretty sure that my tool is not really going to want to fit over this too well. I could probably force it on there, but I have another tool. It's called a Hardwood wrench made by Deckwise. So this is a Hardwood wrench made by Deckwise, and it's a cam lever action. The cool thing about this one is if you have a double joist, you can actually move one of the pins over, and it kind of has the same concept, it's a tension setting device. So this one actually does fit over this thicker joist, and I drag this one in, but I'm still gonna have the same issue of it wanting not to grab, and it's gonna still mess up my tape. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this joist and I'm gonna tension this one as well. So that helps get this one tight, and then I'm gonna cinch on that. Now Nas can come in and put in the screws. So when you're installing this type of a deck, it's really helpful, go ahead, to have two guys. This takes a lot longer with one person because I guarantee you, I laid the first deck by myself and it took forever. So two guys, presetting, tensioning, and then one guy using the drill. We found to be pretty efficient, pretty quick. And the cool thing is you're basically waterproofing the deck as you go. So you just won't have any leaks if you have the proper compression. And Dexter Dry recommends is as you're installing this, they recommend 2 screws per joist at install. So don't just put in 1 screw because you can lose your compression. You gotta double up. Go ahead. You can kind of feel how well things compress as you go. Like obviously I see a huge gap right here. So I'm gonna get my tool. Okay, look, I could go light, I can go heavy. I'm gonna always go heavy unless I'm too far in when I look down this line. And I'll know on the next joist I'll have to lighten up a little bit, but I'm gonna give it that good compression. The more you compress, the less you stress. That's one of their mottos. So with this tool, it's kind of like you feel it, how much compression you're giving it, but you also visually look at it to make sure that you've got the right amount. And between the two, then you kind of get used to knowing where you're at. When you get a really good bite on this, you don't have to give it as much compression. All right, so we're to the very end of our deck. We've used this tool so far and it worked really great. I'm gonna take a quick look down the line and we are really nice and straight, which that's great. But this tool won't fit over this double, right? So then we take a hardwood wrench and we set the pin. There's 2 holes over here so you can set the pins to work a double joist instead of a single. So that's what I'm gonna do here for my last one. Now when you're cinching your last board, you gotta be careful because there's nothing out here compressing this to keep it kind of equal with this. It's easy to over compress the ends of your decking. So I gotta watch it. This one I really have to take a visual on. See, that's just a little too tight. All right, go right there. Another cool thing about the hardwood wrench, once you set it in place, it's like a cam lever, it'll lock in place. You don't have to sit there and hold on to it, but this one's quicker. That's why I like it. All right, guys, so that's all I've got for you. You know, it's a pretty simple tool. There's not a whole much more I can share with you about it, but it's very effective. I've had 50 people ask about it through my Instagram channel. So if you wanna see some more information or read up more about it, you can go through some of our posts on Instagram at drdecks. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, hit the bell icon every time you wanna be notified we're putting out fresh content. Thank you very much. Have a great day.